Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a role play, and you're going to be the agency, and I'm going to be a solar client. Owner of Solar UK Limited, and Jamie's an agency just like you, trying to sell me database activation with AI.
So Dan, before we get into this demo, what you need to know is an SMS is sent out, and we call it the Prince Charming hand raiser.
Yep.
What it does is it gives your database basically the kiss of life. Very simple
Nice.
formula. It just says, "Hi, it's Sarah from Solar UK Limited. Is that the same Jamie who inquired about solar panels on Wednesday?" Or if it's very old data, we could change that to back in December. And what that does is just kind of piques their interest while kind of revealing a little bit, about why we're messaging them.
Okay, so this is like I have 8,000 people in my database that I've accumulated over the years. I've pretty much given up on all of those leads. I've got them dialed. So you're basically saying that you want to send this SMS out to all of those 8,000 people, right?
Yeah, eventually. What we typically do is we start with about 100 leads a day. Once we
Yep.
start seeing that we're getting a good result and that you're happy that your team is, reacting to the new inquiries coming through, we'll scale it up to the full 8,000, as fast as, your team can take those new inquiries on. So what happens next is after we send that SMS message out, a lead who's interested might respond and they'd say, yes, it is, just confirming their name. So you'll see this message is sent out now, and the AI is going to have a little think in the background. It might take a few seconds for us to have a think and come up with a result, but we'll just have to wait whilst that happens. Just see right now, it's got this circle here, which just says it's thinking.
So how, like, obviously, if it's AI, we wouldn't want people to be SMSing. Like, if it's a bot, we want people to know that it's like a human or think that it's a human, right? So, like, I don't want SMSs coming. It's like unnatural for things to happen very quickly, right? Like, is that going to be a problem?
So it's not a problem. What we do is we add a bit of a small wait in between the message being generated and us actually sending that message out to people. So we had about a 1 to 2 minute wait in between, them responding and the AI actually sending that message.
All right, cool. What have we got here?
So this is the first message which the AI sends back when they confirm that we have the right person. It was, thank goodness, my calendar just pinged me to call, but I didn't want to disturb you. Are you still looking into solar?
Okay.
What we're doing here is we're actually reframing them for a phone call later on down the line. You'll notice that we've said, my calendar just pinged me to call. So the lead at this point is aware that we're looking to give them a call. Say, I didn't want to disturb you. And are you still looking into solar?
So I love it because we dial ours like 12 times, like on the first 3 days with our dialing system. And we get about 50% contact rate. So anything outside of that 50% is, I mean, if you can get responses, then awesome. What type of response rates are you looking at?
So response rates for this, it ranges for, on average, about 30%, depending on how old the data is. If it's ancient, then obviously it's going to drop off a little bit. But I'd say anywhere within the last 2 years, it's achievable to get 30% response rate.
Wow. And can you do this with bought lists as well, rather than opted-in lists, or like I can get my hands on bought lists?
We can, but we wouldn't recommend it. You're going to get really bad results, and then there's obviously the compliance in it. People will respond, but you're kind of on the back foot when you're going after this data. We'd always just recommend going after your typical web leads, whether that's Facebook, Google, YouTube, just people who already know you.
Awesome. Okay. All right, what's next? Can I answer some questions here, because you could be like totally manipulating this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this as a perfect client first, and then once we've done that, I'm going to let you try and test and break it.
Okay. Okay, fair.
So it says, are you still looking into solar? And we're just going to say, yes, I'm still interested in solar. And the AI is basically going to ask a couple of questions. So it might be similar to the stuff you already have in your lead for, or it might be motivation-based questions. So obviously, because we're in the UK, we add a little bit of, we try and make it look like a real person is talking to them. That's why it's saying smashing right now.
It's a bit, smashing is not really what my sales team would say, right? It sounds a bit informal in a way.
Totally get it. This is just a demo, and really all we're looking to do right now is just kind of show you what it's capable of doing. It can be as formal as you want it or as informal as possible. Some of our other clients do actually like the informal approach, but if you're be more formal, we can definitely do that.
Cool.
Can you tell me what your average monthly utility bill is looking like? And we would say something like it's about £100 per month and expensive. So just thinking, I reckon that does feel a bit steep. Well, the good news is that we can help you reduce those costs, and we'll make sure to beat any market price out there. Would you like to schedule a call back to discuss this further? So what we're looking to do is only ask a few questions. We're just looking to see that they're still interested in solar, get them to maybe feel the pain about the electricity bills that they're paying right now. And then what we're looking to do is arrange a time. It's all well and good having a conversation, but without that action, we need this to turn into a sale for you. So if I was to respond yes with this right now, it would send out a link to your website for them to book into a calendar. We can also do this conversationally, but a lot of people just do prefer the link right now.
Okay.
Do that though. Are there any questions you want to kind of throw at the AI?
I take, what you were saying there about having it booked into our CRM. It doesn't have to be via calendar link. Like, I think we'd like to start with a calendar link just so we can sync it to one person's calendar or whatever, right? But you do have the option to, I mean, can you book it into a dialer, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite easy for us to do that.
Okay. All right. And do you think it's too early to ask for a callback, like so early on? That's only a couple of messages. Like, what have you found that to work?
It does work. We can add in more, but the sweet spot is typically between 2 and 3 messages that we send. All we're really looking to do today is just kind of show you a bit of an example conversation.
Okay. Yeah. So it can qualify as well in a way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How do we train this? Because my business has kind of bespoke solar panel packages, and it also sells to businesses and commercial solar as well. Like, how do we account for that? Like, can it read our website or FAQs or whatever and figure out how to answer according to our business in a bespoke manner?
So we can train it for you. And what we would do is ask for like a sample of some FAQs. But at the end of the day, what we don't want it to be doing is answering absolutely every single question. We want it to be booking calls. So if it does start asking questions about, if someone did start asking questions about pricing or the differences to solar panels, we believe that's best for a salesperson to be answering that. So we're just always going to default to getting the AI to attempt them to book in for a phone call.
All right, cool. The other question I've got is, I mean, it looks great, but like Sarah is the person messaging here. I haven't got Sarah in my call center. Like, what do you do there?
Well, we can change the name to anything you want it to be. If you feel more comfortable using a real person's name, we can go with that. If not, leave it as Sarah, because if someone does call in, saying that they've spoken to Sarah, at least your team knows what that lead is referring to.
Yeah, okay. All right, makes sense. All right, let me try and break it.
Go for it.
Well, good news is it can help you reduce these costs, sure to beat any market rate out there. Do you offer finance?
Absolutely. We do offer a range of finance options that make switching to solar more affordable. And advisors can go over these with you in detail. Shall we set up a time for a call to explore your options?
What happens if we don't offer finance?
We can train the AI to basically say, no, we don't offer finance. Or we can just say to the AI to try and book them in for a phone call. It's still a potential sale.
Okay. And we get a lot of people coming in thinking they can get solar for 0%, because a lot of the lead gens out there are doing zero money down solar and stuff like that. Can I ask that question?
Yeah.
Is there any government rebates available with your solar panels?
Oops, spelled there wrong. Government incentives can certainly make a difference. Our advisors are up to speed on all the latest rebates and can fill you in on what's available. Would you like to book a call back and
Nice.
to get all the specifics?
Okay. Can I get a bit angry now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Stop being so vague with your answers. Tell me what the bloody prices are. We get a lot of people that just, it's quite rude to my staff and stuff like that, because we deal with a lot of people, right?
Yeah, you get that when you message, any number of people. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're bound to get a few people who, are a little bit upset by it.
Okay.
So still processing right now. And goes, I understand wanting to get straight to the figures. I'm here to help ensure you get directed to someone who can provide a detailed breakdown of costs. So what we do is we actually train it with some objection handling. And this is what it's trying to do right now. It's trying to empathize with how you're feeling. And then it's trying to direct it to the action we want it to, the lead to do, which is to book that call.
Interesting. Okay. Can I just ask, I've got a north-facing home. I didn't think that owner of Solar UK Limited, and Jamie's an agency just like you, trying to sell me database activation with AI.
So Dan, before we get into this demo, what you need to know is an SMS is sent out, and we call it the Prince Charming hand raiser.
Yep.
What it does is it gives your database basically the kiss of life. Very simple formula. It just says, hi, it's Sarah from Solar UK Limited. Is that the same Jamie who inquired about solar panels on Wednesday? Or if it's very old data, we could, change that to back in December. And what that does is just kind of piques their interest about kind of revealing a little bit, about why we're messaging them.
Okay, so this is like, I have 8,000 people in my database that I've accumulated over the years. I've pretty much given up on all of those leads. I've got them dialed. So you're basically saying that you want to send this SMS out to all of those 8,000 people, right?
Yeah, eventually. What we typically do is we start with about 100 leads a day. Once we start seeing that we're getting a good result and that you're happy that your team is, reacting to the new inquiries coming through, we'll scale it up to the full 8,000, as fast as, your team can take those new inquiries on. So what happens next is after we send that SMS message out, a lead who's interested might respond and they'd say, yes, it is, just confirming their name. So you'll see this message is sent out now, and the AI is going to have a little think in the background. It might take a few seconds for us to have a think and come up with a result, but we'll just have to wait whilst that happens. Just see right now, it's got this circle here, which says it's thinking.
So how, like, obviously if it's AI, we wouldn't want people to be SMSing. Like if it's a bot, we want people to know that it's like a human, or think that it's a human, right? So like, I don't want SMSs coming, like, unnatural for things to happen very quickly, right? Like, is that going to be a problem?
So it's not a problem. What we do is we add a bit of a small wait in between the message being generated and us actually sending that message out to people. So we had about a minute to 2 minute wait in between, them responding, and the AI
solar panels
actually
can be fitted on a north-facing home or something like that. Yeah, is that true? Solar panels can be fitted on a north-facing home or something like that. Yeah, is that true?
north-facing roofs can still be suitable for solar panels, although the specifics can get a bit technical depending on your exact situation. It's best to have one of our advisors take a look and give you tailored advice. Want to go ahead and book in a call back. What I would like you to
Nice.
do is pay attention to how it's being vague. So it is saying certainly, but it is saying it in the same sentence, although the specifics can get a bit technical depending on your exact situation. So it's not exactly a yes there.
Yeah.
And it's saying it's best to have one of our advisors take a look and give you tailored advice. Want to go ahead and book in a callback. So what it's doing is it's keeping the person still interested. It's being vague, so it's never promising anything specific, and it's still going for that callback. As we mentioned earlier, these types of questions, we always train the AI to push for that callback.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. And can it do instant, like, because a lot of the times we've found that if we get back to a lead quickly, then it's a much higher chance of closing. Like, how can you help us with that?
Yeah, absolutely. What we would suggest that you do is you can basically attach this to all your live leads coming through. And the AI will work straight away, reaching out to them, contacting them. If they're not responding, it will follow up, independently of itself, because some people might miss that first message. So it'll follow up with them as well periodically over a few days. What we then do is what the AI is doing is it's then basically grading who's responsive and who's not responsive. And a lot of our clients find that information useful because they know who to be targeting with phone calls and, who can be left at the bottom of that pile.
Okay, cool. Mate, it looks good, but like, how much is this going to cost? I have to know whether or not this is going to be worth my while, because there's obviously SMS costs, and I can't afford like 10K for a build, or what are we looking at here?
Yeah, no, I get that. So all we ask is for you to cover the SMS costs. We do this on a performance basis. And what I mean by that is you would give us leads, initially at least. You'd give us your leads, which your sales team have dialed to death. Whether that's from a month ago, whether it's from a year or 2 years ago, anything which we would then find a sale in for, all we're looking for is about 50% of the profit from that sale.
50%, right? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean by profit?
So what I mean by profit is the net profit. So after all your costs, obviously installation, commission into it, we're just looking at that net profit.
Okay.
We're looking to share in that with you. We want this to be found money for you and not an expense. So really, do this. It's us putting in a lot of our own time, a lot of our own money, building this out. We wouldn't be wasting our time doing this unless we were confident that this would work.
Yeah.
For you.
Okay. Well, actually, that's a great offer. How long does it take to get set up from here?
So it takes up to 2 weeks to get started. It depends really on how fast you are looking to get going with this. It sounds like you're interested. Do you have like a development team, and are they willing to take action straight away?
Yeah, they're really good. He's my right-hand man. He's super fast.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we could definitely get that set up within 2 weeks. All we need from you is just a little understanding on, what CRM you're using. How we typically do this is the conversations, and we then just update your CRM just to show which leads are responsive, which leads want callbacks on certain days. It means that, your system, they can just work on the system that you're using already, and we're just going to give you those updates.
Nice. Okay. All right, that's demo over.